So the labelling on this particular machine is relatively simple as far as low temp shutdown, high temp shutdown. What that means to you is when this particular section is illuminated, low or high, all it's telling us is that we've exceeded the temperature parameters within the cabinet itself, and thermostatically it's picked up that we've had a temperature spike. Is it a common occurrence? No. The only time you'll have high temp shutdown is if our filtration's blocked or the machine's struggling to pull the air through, and primarily that is the cause. The low temperature shutdown is on the other side of that scale. So if, say for example, we have an influx of air and it can't cope with that volume of cold air, you'll have a low temp shutdown. Predominantly that is just a safety measure to keep this particular desiccant wheel and its heating capacity at a reasonable level that the machine can monitor. So is it a common occurrence? No, it's not. It's just a fail-safe in relation to what is processed as far as the air is concerned. The cubic metres of air that's travelling through the machine is monitored hot and cold. So peak high or low, this will pick it up. The rest of the information on here is, of course, a rotational shutdown. So say, for example, there is a problem with power, it's intermittent. This particular light here will illuminate. The rotational shutdown is primarily because of differentiation in power. So all of these things here are a nomination in relation to how we've set the machine up, basically. So say, for example, your genset runs out of power, you run out of gas, your filters are blocked, you'll start to see the illumination of some of these lights. A gas fault, basically same thing. You've run out of gas, the regulators are dirty. So how do I eliminate the illumination of any of these or the machine shutdown? It's relatively simple, because you'll have a start up and shut down procedure for this particular machine. And the start up and shutdown procedure also nominates any hazards that might be associated with running this machine. Leaking gas, faulty power leads, poorly maintained filters. All of these are indicative to the fundamental functionality of this particular machine. So if I abide by a start-up and shutdown procedure, ensure that everything's safe, put this in the appropriate place, give myself enough room to be able to work around the machine, give myself the opportunity to be able to do my daily checks, and they must be done. If you adhere to all that, the illumination of these lights is quite scarce. You'll notice on this machine too there's an emergency shut. So if I find that there's a problem with the machine, I can push the emergency stop. Also here you've got on and off, gas or electric. So just by flicking this switch to off in the centre, the machine has the capacity to run on auto, so it can click in and out as it requires the differentiation of air, temperature and so forth. And of course the on. The on is basically what we use for gas. The auto is more consistent with an electric feed for this machine.